As you know, at all of our plenary sessions, we thank our sponsors who have made this conference possible. And the sponsor for this evening is NeighborWorks America, a longtime partner and a longtime friend. And representing NeighborWorks America is its acting CEO, Chuck Wehrwein. Chuck is ultimately responsible at NeighborWorks America for the technical assistance, financial support, and training that NeighborWorks America provides to a network of more than 245 organizations. NeighborWorks America also offers diverse training and development opportunities to professionals from more than 3,400 non-member organizations. The son of immigrants who grew up on Chicago's South Side, Chuck became acting CEO in April of 2014. He first joined the organization as Chief Operating Officer in 2012. Prior to his work at NeighborWorks, Chuck served as president of the Housing Partnership Exchange at Boston's Housing Partnership Network, senior vice president at Mercy Housing, chief operating officer of the National Equity Fund, deputy assistant secretary for multifamily housing at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and deputy administrator for multifamily housing at the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Rural Housing Service. A certified public accountant, Chuck has an undergraduate degree from the University of Illinois at Chicago and a Master's of Business Administration from DePaul University. Chuck, thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, everybody. How are y'all? Good, good. Great to be here with you tonight. Well, as Moises noted, I can't seem to hold down a job, and so I come as the acting CEO for NeighborWorks, but I come proudly. Thank you, Moises. It's a pleasure, as always, for NeighborWorks America to once again sponsor HAC's National Rural Conference. Our organizational and personal ties over the years go kind of way back. And like the best friendships, our partnership has certainly deepened over time. The conference theme of retool, rebuild, and renew certainly resonates with us at NeighborWorks America. And Moises, I have to agree with something you said earlier this week about the special edition of Rural Voices. So I know you all have read this, Revisiting Poverty in Rural America. You said, I think, you thought it's one of HAC's finest publications. And I have to say, I could not agree more. I appreciate the fact that while clearly calling attention to the challenges of rural poverty, it also highlights successes, such as the story of Crisette, who realized the dream of a home and financial stability through the IDA program at Betty Tam's organization in Umpqua, Oregon. Thank you, Moises, and your hardworking team for this timely publication. I have to say, like all of you, I know, we all get lots of stuff in our mailbox. I always read this. It's a fabulous publication, so thank you for that. As you all know, the question of persistent rural poverty is one that concerns all of us. It is hard to accept that a nation rich in resources like we have, that there are whole regions of the country that show up from one census to the other, virtually unchanged in terms of the level of poverty. The future of rural America is key to the future of all America, which is why at NeighborWorks we are working to assure that the rural perspective is woven into everything that we do. While we certainly don't have all the answers, and we struggle to have even a few, we're glad that rural leaders are raising the issues and showing the way to a better future. Thanks also to HAC for your excellent research that has illuminated patterns of persistent poverty in rural America. Over the years, we certainly have, and I know many of you have come to rely on HAC for its solid research, its significant publications on rural matters, and obviously every 2 years this fabulous national conference. So let's again give HAC a nice round of applause. Some of you may know that NeighborWorks America grew out of the Urban Reinvestment Task Force back in the late 70s, and during the 1980s, rural-serving NeighborWorks organizations represented at the time only a small minority of our growing network. But that's no longer true. Today, as Senator Bond and I were talking about, 106 NeighborWorks organizations of our 240-odd groups are members of our rural initiative, and it wouldn't surprise anybody in this room when I say that many of our largest and most productive member organizations have rural roots. As Moises mentioned, I am the acting CEO of NeighborWorks America. When I was asked to take on this responsibility, I knew I needed help. I needed lots of help. I needed someone who knew NeighborWorks and knew the network, someone who could be my right arm during this transition period. I think you all know who I chose, and because you know him, you know why. He just happens to be a member of HAC's board, and I'd like to publicly thank Peter Carey for service above and beyond the call of duty. Peter, why don't you stand up? Stand up. I'd also like to thank my colleague, my friend, and former CEO of NeighborWorks America, Eileen Fitzgerald, whose depth of knowledge of and commitment to the plight of rural Americans will have a lasting impact at NeighborWorks for decades to come. Eileen, are you here? Well, let's give her a round of applause anyway. Let me just conclude, since I'm in between Chairman Rogers and your meals, that I just want to say thank you, HAC, thank all of you. Congrats to Senator Bond and Chairman Rogers, Senator Leahy, and the other awardees. Every 2 years, HAC gives us a chance to honor these individuals who have really made a difference for our communities in rural America. So a big thank you to the extended HAC family for allowing NeighborWorks America to share in this celebration. Thank you very much.